party poopers there. I won't mention names, Rachel. But what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about Luke chapter 10. Now, it's a parable. You guys have heard of parables, right? Right?
Yeah.
Well, you are now if you haven't before. All right. Well, a parable is a story that makes sense just as it's told and you hear it. But it goes deeper than the story. And it teaches the listener something about how to live life God's way. Well, the parable Jesus told began with a Jewish man who was traveling from Jerusalem to Jericho.
These boots are made for walking,
and that's what he was going to do. You know, it was a really out-of-the-way, desolate area. Not a nice, cushy path, sort of in the hills, mountainous, not a lot of people around, and there was a lot of crime. Well, the man traveling got attacked, and he was beaten so bad, he was left for dead. The people beating him up pretty much thought that they would just take everything he had and kill him, and they left. Well, a priest happened to be traveling by. Now, a priest is a minister, right? So you think they would stop, right?
Yeah. But he didn't.
Well,
Walk on by.
that's what he did.
Walk on by.
Just walked right on by. Are you kidding me? This man is a minister. He's supposed to be ministering to people. Didn't do it there, did he? No, not really. Well, okay, so he walked by on the other side of the road, kept on going. The poor man's laying there. He hears more footsteps coming. It's a Levite. Now this guy, he works in the church. And he come by. Now this man laying in the road, he knows that this is a Levite because of the way he's dressed. So the guy who works at the church is going to stop, right?
Yeah.
Right? What do you mean, no? You've heard this story?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? When he saw the man,
He walked on by.
that's exactly what he did. He just crossed the road, didn't want to get involved, kept on going. You can imagine this guy laying in the road is just waiting for somebody to stop by. Two people he expected to stop, they just walked on by, kept going. But next he hears footsteps. Here comes a Samaritan. Now, I got to tell you something about this. The man laying there beaten half to death is a Jew. The man coming now down the road is a Samaritan. Well, he's from the country of Samaria, and let me tell you about the Jews and Samaritans. Didn't like each other. Sort of like us in the Miami Heat now, right?
Yeah.
Don't like each other anymore, all right?
No.
So, or LeBron, we'll just let him walk on. So, the Jewish man's laying in the road. The priest, he keeps going. He doesn't stop. The Levite, these men who passed by him are Jewish, but they kept going. Here comes the Samaritan. Now, the Jews and Samaritans don't like each other. So what do you think this guy laying there, this Jewish man laying in the road, what do you think he expects from the Samaritan?
He should walk on.
Walk on by because they don't get along. But the Samaritan did something totally unexpected. He felt nothing but compassion. And he did. He stood by the man in the road. He didn't cross the road. He didn't pretend like he didn't see him. He chose to lend a hand to help someone else and attend to the wounds of the really badly beaten Jewish man by covering with oil. Okay, he didn't have Neosporin. He didn't have some of the things we got now. He had oil. That's what they used. And he had some bandages, or he had some cloth like you guys use today. He took what he had to help this man laying in the road. He didn't care that he was a Jew. He didn't care that they didn't like each other. You know what he saw? He saw somebody had a need. Not only did he do that, he put him on his donkey. He took him to the nearest Motel 6, and he got him a room. And he stayed there all night trying to make sure remember, this guy is within an inch of his life of dying. And this man stays there. Apparently he had somewhere to go too, but he stayed there and he did all he could. Not only did he do that, he went to the Motel 6 innkeeper and he said, listen, I gotta go. But this guy needs some more help. Whatever it takes, I don't care. You let him stay in his room, get him what he needs. I'll be coming back this way. When I'm headed home, I will stop by. I will pay you whatever it is. I don't care. Now, Jesus told that story, and then he wanted the people to understand more than just what was in the story. He wanted it to apply to their life. So he said them a question. He said, I didn't know CSI was around then, but okay. For the Who. Jesus asked of the men in the story, he's asking this bunch of people, who knows, maybe thousands who listen to him. He said, who of these men, the priest, the Levite, or the Samaritan, which one of them acted like a neighbor? Now, a man who was very smart, who had studied the Bible, who had been listening to Jesus this whole time, because Jesus talked about the Bible like no one, well, not the Bible, but the words of God, like no one else had ever heard before. They were astounded. So they're listening, and this scholar says, well, you know what, Jesus? It's got to be the one who felt sorry for him. Now, in Luke chapter 10, verse 37, said the one who felt sorry for him. And Jesus said back to him in the second part of that verse, then go and do as he did. Now remember, that story was a story that made sense. The people understood it, but it also goes deeper. It wasn't just to hear and think that was a great story. That Samaritan was a great guy. Jesus wanted more. Jesus was like the Samaritan. How was Jesus like the Samaritan? Alex, how would you think he was like the Samaritan, Jesus?
Because he helps people.
He
And I
does?
also wanted to ask about the story that Jesus told. Is that real? Was it real that Jesus told?
I don't know. It was a parable that Jesus, maybe you heard of a similar story. Maybe God gave him that story to tell people because that's what they needed to hear. And what did Jesus give that was the biggest gift you can give? You can't give anything anymore. But he died on the cross. He gave his life. You can't do much more than that, can you? Can't do any more than that. So he died for everyone, not just the good people, not just the people who dress nice, just not the people who are cute, not the people who are smart. He died for everybody. Not the people who go to church, everybody. When someone believes he is God's son, Jesus Christ we're talking about, and ask him to be their Savior, it's a choice, guys. Everyone in this room has to make it. I've made it. Everyone will make a choice if they haven't already. When you ask him, it's like a gift. He's handing it to you. All you got to do is take the gift. It's yours, but you got to ask him for it. But here's another thought. Now, I know I need to make the wise choice. We talk about that all the time. So, how can I take this parable that Jesus gave us and use it to make the wise choice in my life? Well, how can you guys do it? Think about it. How can you be a good Samaritan? You may never pass somebody in a car accident and be the person that has to go over and help them. You may not, but there's other ways every day. So,